Hi, this is Zach with Warner Wound, and today I'll be taking a look at the Nomos Orion Midnight Edition from Timeless Luxury Watches. So the Nomos Orion Midnight Edition is a collaboration between Nomos and Timeless Luxury Watches of Texas. Timeless Luxury Watches is a store and authorized distributor. And this is one of several collaborations they've done. So we've seen two different versions of the Nomos Club from them. They've also done a Damasco series that we talked about. And I think they might have actually done some other watches with some other brands as well. The Orion Midnight Edition that they did actually came out after the first club that they did before the second club. So this one's been out for a little while at the time of this review. It's an edition of 75 pieces, but done per each color. So there's a total of 150. There's two versions of this watch. The one you see here with gold batons on a sunburst blue dial, and one with silver batons, which we'll show you later. It's based on the 38 millimeter Nomos Orion hand-wound no date. So that's 38 millimeters diameter, 48 millimeters lug to lug, and about 8.5 millimeters thick. So it's a really nicely sized watch. We've reviewed the 38 datum before, so we have a very thorough breakdown of that there. But it's a very well fitting watch. There is a smaller version of the Nomos Orion, but not in this blue color. This watch will go for $2,750, which is in line with the other watches, and it features the Alpha movement, but the Alpha movement that has been modified to have the Nomos swing system. So a couple years ago when they brought out the Nomos swing system, which is their in-house escapement with a German-made balance spring, they changed the naming convention of their movements to DUW and then like a serial number. The Alpha would be the old name. I actually prefer the name Alpha. So this is basically the same movement as the DUW, but with the name from the old one, which is confusing. Regardless, it's an exceptional movement, made in glass chutes, in-house, all that. So you get, that whole package here, which on a watch at $2,750 is still a very good value. Nomos themselves really kind of beating that with their club watches, which come in at a starting price around $1,500. But regardless, it's a very good value. So looking at this specific version, one thing that Timeless does whenever they do a collaboration is they kind of put some blue in the watch. With the clubs, they had a kind of an inky blue, and here they're going with this sunray blue, which I think is a really nice choice for the Orion. The Orion it's a great watch, definitely kind of a house favorite here. They're minimal and dressy while also having like a really nice kind of modern feel to them. It does not look or feel like a vintage watch, though it has these kind of timeless classic elements to it. You have these really beautiful long lugs. They kind of point inwards. It's a little sharp looking, which that alone has kind of a modern feel. And the whole case flows and swoops around. The case back is actually domed, which is a very cool feature that is really just there to continue the form, to not like break the kind of sculptural aspect of the watch. Even if from the top down you don't see any of that. So that just gives that nice contemporary feel. And then you just have the super balanced dial, really simple, no numerals, all batons and markers, sub-second at 6. All Nomos watches have a sub-second. And the blue here is this really beautiful dark, it's a dark sunray, so it has that metallic quality to it, but unlike some sunrays, it's not too aggressive. So you get, a couple little light flares on there, but it goes from a very dark gray blue to almost like a black blue, which I really like. As much as I like a blue dial watch, I don't really go for them too often because for my personal taste, they're a little bit too bright. This one, however, is nice and low key. It's very subtle. And in this instance, with the gold batons, I really love that combination, the play of the blue with the warm yellow gold. I think it's just really nice. It's a little unexpected, gives this watch kind of some cool style to it that, I think is just a little uncommon in general. Plus, like I said, since this is a special edition for Timeless, you can't get the blue dial anywhere except for from them. They both of the watches come mounted to black shell cordovan straps from Nomos. They come in small, medium, and large. I have a 7-inch wrist, and I believe this one is actually on large, and it's a little too big for me. So I would definitely recommend going for a medium strap if you get this, unless you have a particularly large wrist, or particularly small, in which case you'll go for the small. Now we'll take a look at the silver baton version. Looking now at the silver baton version, very similar, obviously, though. By having silver rather than gold, I think it actually has even a little bit more of an austere, more modern feel to it. To me, gold, there's something about gold, the warmth of it always just makes me think of like kind of 50s dress watches. So here being in all steel or silver, it just feels very modern, contemporary, perhaps a little bit more sterile. But I think, if you're looking for this watch as a formal dress watch, a business watch you're going to wear to the office all the time, and really, just have like a low-key class, I think this will definitely cut it. Not that the gold wouldn't, but, in the end, it just really comes down to taste, and both are really attractive. I might personally prefer the gold and blue just because it's a little bit stranger, and that's like something I would look for in the watch, but this is certainly clean and gorgeous. Flipping the watch over just to take a look at the case back real quick. Around the display window, you have some, basic information, and then you have the numbering of the edition there. So this one here is 53 of 75 of the silver baton version, which is just always nice to have on a limited edition watch. And then within, you can see that Nomos Alpha movement. You have some kind of classic German watchmaking things there, particularly the Glashütte 3/4 plate. So that would be this larger plate here. And then you have, the striping here, which is Côte de Genève, but when you see it on German watch or a Glashütte watch, it's called Glashütte striping. And then you have some decoration wheels. It's just, Nomos does a really great job on their movement decoration. It's not like a different type of decoration than anything you've ever seen before, but it's definitely well executed, very elegant, and enjoyable to look at when the watch is off your wrist. To wrap up, the Nomos Orion Midnight Edition collaboration with Timeless Luxury, I think it's a great watch from both brands. I think it's a very beautiful version of the Nomos Orion, which, to date, I've yet to see a version of the Nomos Orion I don't like. This is the first one we've seen in blue, though, so that's a kind of an interesting departure. And I think it's a really cool collaboration for Timeless to have done because, like I said, they kind of do this blue thing with all their watches, but it's very tasteful here. This is just a really nice watch. It's not a collaboration that says Timeless like all over it or anything like that. It's really a very, very subtle hint back to their branding. So, you know where it's from when you wear it, but you're not advertising a store or anything like that when it's on your wrist. And yeah, like I said, it's very tasteful. It's very elegant. I think they did a good job of working with Nomos to make something just different for them. These are limited editions, only 75 of each version. So, if this at some point these will not be available, but while they are, they're $2,750. Like I said, it's a good value for what it is. If it's not an inexpensive watch. These are very high-end kind of luxury watches in a sense, and they're just truly beautiful. Check out the article on Warner Wound. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you.